Okay, so welcome back. In this, the first part of the Ielts Task 2 introduction. So we were discussing some types of questions. So I told in the previous session that Ielts Task 2 is divided to two main types of questions. That is opinion question, where it asks your personal opinion, and ideas questions, which ask a general opinion. So that was the main categorization. So in one part of the question, no, one type of question, that is the your opinion is asked. Another types of question, your opinion is not at all needed there. So if you write your opinion in this particular question, then it will be a negative mark. So if you don't write your opinion in this type of question, again that will be a negative mark. So we have two basic types of questions. Of that, number one, opinion type of question can be divided to two. That's opinion personal viewpoint question. So we call it one side question, or one part question, or something like that. So you have one statement and one question here. So these are the types of questions. It will appear like these. So do you agree or disagree? How far do you agree or disagree? To what extent do you agree? Do you think it is true? Now, do you think it is advantageous than disadvantages? Do the positive outweigh the negatives? Do the merits outweigh the demerits? These are the types of questions. These are the examples of these types of questions. And now I do have opinion discussion type of question. Usually we call it a discussion question, where we have two arguments. So we call two-part question here. In some cases, they're calling us two-part questions. Two arguments are there, and you have to give answer at last. So that's opinion. So you can give the answer, your personal opinion, only after discussion of this particular thing. So in the main body paragraphs, you are around 70 to 80 percentage of the essay, you are going to discuss the arguments. So if you are going 80%, 70 to 80%, you will be discussing these two arguments. And you'll be having an introduction, and at last you'll be stating your own personal opinion there. So opinion will be given. A clear cut opinion will be derived after the yes, a clear cut opinion will be derived after the discussion. So this is what the discussion question is. We have in discussion question, they may ask you, I will give you a different format of discussion question. Please say this thing. See, look at this thing. So I have given a different type of question here. It's the matter is the same, but I have presented it in a different format here. Some people prefer to watch YouTube videos to learn, while others insist on reading books for effective learning. Which view do you think is better and why? So we have these types of question. So when you look at the last part of the question, mostly people think that this is an opinion question. Definitely, it's an opinion question. But when you give the opinion, simultaneously you need to discuss both views because there are two arguments there. Some people prefer to watch YouTube videos, others insist on reading books for effective learning. So two arguments are there. Whenever you see two arguments, it is your responsibility to discuss these two arguments there. So you can now state that YouTube videos is the best. So I am going to talk only about YouTube videos. It's not the thing. So if you got the question like this, the question you have got two arguments, two parts of the argument. So here there are some people who like to watch YouTube. So here some people are there, they like to watch reading books. So if two things are there, I cannot blindly go with one opinion and say this is my opinion, so I'll be talking about this thing only. You cannot do that. There should be a discussion on the when you have two arguments, when you have two opposing statements. So even if you don't see a discussion question like this, discuss both views and give your opinion. If you don't see this format, if it is written in this format, still you have to discuss this thing. You can give your opinion in the beginning. Okay, you can give your opinion in the beginning, but in the body paragraphs you need to discuss both views because two arguments are there here, one argument, another argument, so both should be addressed. If you leave one, your task response is poor, your task is incomplete there. So you have to understand that whenever you see that there are two arguments which are opposing, you cannot discuss one argument and leave the other. You have to discuss both. Even if you are stating your opinion in the introduction, no issues, you can state your opinion in the introduction, but in the body paragraphs you need to discuss argument number one. In the body paragraph you need to discuss argument number two. That should be very clear. Okay, so this is also a type of discussion question, but it is presented, the question is presented in a different format. Usually 80% of the discussion questions will be appearing like this. So we have exceptions like this. Questions may appear like this where you have to discuss both sides. Uh, and okay, so this is another example I have given for this discussion question. That is, you have to give your opinion when there are two arguments in the question. So see whether there are two opposing arguments. If there are two opposing arguments, you need to discuss both arguments. So that's the thing here. I just move on to the ideas types of questions, what we are generally confused about these ideas types of questions here. So here we are not going to give our personal opinion. So let's see what type of questions are coming here. So So these are the types of questions will be which we can see here in this type of ideas question, where we are not going to give your personal opinion. So in these types of questions, you are not going to give your personal opinion at all. So they are asking about a problem, they're asking about a solution for this thing. So they are asking about a problem, the causes for the problem, and the solution for the problem. They're asking about the problem and the consequences. They're asking about the cause of a problem and its effect. They're asking about a cause of a problem and solution. So they're asking about evaluation. So evaluate a particular situation. So that's the thing we are going. We are anyone any of these questions is not dealing with any of the personal opinion. So it's a general viewpoint. So if you are given the question regarding unemployment, you are not going to give a personal opinion on unemployment. You are going to give uh, a general opinion. So what are the real reasons? What are the real reasons behind unemployment? That's the factual data. You are going with the factual data there, and you are not going with any personal assumptions or personal opinions there. So let's go with some examples. What type of questions will fall in this particular category? Okay, number one. I got the first question here. The first question: unemployment is a burning issue these days in many parts of the country. How severe the problem is? How can we solve this crisis? So this is a particular question which discuss. Uh, uh, so they are asking the severity of the problem. They're asking how the ways which we can solve the crisis. Two parts they're asking. So here when you address how severe the problem is, you are not supposed, naturally you are not going to give any personal opinion. In my view, I think, I believe, you're not going to write any phrases like that. It's not necessary at anywhere there. So now, like you can say, how can we solve the crisis? So it is the solution which is acceptable to the global scenario. It's not which is which can be applied to a local geographical situation. So it is not the thing. So in a global perspective, how can this be solved? So this is the thing here we are going to see. So we have to give factual information. If you are giving examples, that should be a global example, understandable to everyone across the world. So everyone should understand your examples too. So these are the things we have to see here. Now I have to move ahead with another thing here, that is problem, cause, solution. So unemployment is a burning issue these days in many countries. How severe the problem is? Okay, so I have the next question here. So, unemployment is a burning issue these days in many parts of the country. How severe the problem is and what factors attribute to this? Suggest some feasible solutions. So we have problem, we have cause, and we have solution here. So this there are three parts we need to answer here. Usually, this type of questions will be appearing in the general task, general students, GT students, but it can appear to the academic students too. But mostly these types of questions, ideas questions, you most general tasks, general module students, they can expect these types of questions. So can say the same pattern here. Okay, unemployment is a burning issue these days in many parts of the country. How severe the problem is and how this can affect different social sectors. So this is the an example of problem effect question. So I'm just going ahead with the examples of these types of questions under the heading ideas. So I'm not going into detail how can we write this thing. We'll be seeing each how each type of question, how can we address each type of question. So we'll be seeing it in the coming sessions one by one. So let's see just the types here. Yes, and now I do have another uh, example of a cause effect question. Unemployment is a burning issue these days in many parts of the country, uh, many parts of the world. So I have to change here. It's not country, so it's, excuse me, it's my mistake. Many parts of the world. Okay, so everywhere I do have a problem. Okay, it's world here. Okay, sorry, it's a mistake. Okay, now I'm going ahead with the next cause solution. Unemployment is a burning issue these days in many parts of the world. What are the contributing factors behind this and how this can be. So this is another type of question. So cause solution question. What are the contributing factors this? How this can be addressed effectively. Now I have to go ahead with one more type of question, that is evaluation question. So I have another question here, that's evaluation question. So computer technology has a vital influence in the life of humans today. How would computer change humans in 10 years of time? Here also you're not going to say your personal opinion. You are just giving the factual information. Today is this thing, and after 10 years, this would be the fact. So that's about the types. So we